Welcome back, dear students. Myself, Dhruv Saxena, your course coordinator for our ongoing course on environmental engineering. Welcome to the initiative that is Let's Crack the Gate. Beginning with today's lecture, let's quickly recap what we have learned so far. So, we have learned various concepts with regards to water demand. We learned about various concepts with regards to water quality, physical quality parameters, chemical quality parameters. How do we analyze the important ones? What were some of the important values? Then in the recent lectures, we have also covered many topics of the water treatment such as screening, aeration, sedimentation, and in the last ones, coagulation and flocculation. So let's see one video that I have recently found. I wanted to show it to you that how the mixing basins work that we have learnt in the previous lecture. So this is an animation I found really helpful. It will eventually help in understanding that how the water flows in the mixing basins, how turbulence is created, and how coagulation is carried out. Okay. Now, as it is said, that advantages include that it is a very simple thing. No mixing, no mechanical mixing is there, no moving parts are there, so maintenance is very low. Now this one is another kind of another view of the same illustration. Okay, so I hope it is clear. One of the disadvantages in these mixing basins was that you need to use a lot of coagulant. Okay, also the head loss is much greater than the mechanical mixing units when we compare it. So overall what happens is that we need to use more of coagulant and that reduces its efficiency. Let's move ahead to our today's topic, that is filtration. So after we have removed the majority of the suspended solids, okay, through the coagulation aided sedimentation process, there might be a possibility that there are some suspended particles and flocks which have not been removed by the sedimentation process. Now filtration, it also removes the organic matter and microorganisms along with the dissolved minerals from the water. So filtration we can carry out by different types of filters. The important ones for our discussion are gravity filters and pressure filters. These are most commonly used. Amongst gravity filters, slow sand filter and rapid sand filters. So let's start our discussion for today. Now regarding notes, since this lecture I have prepared it through a presentation, I would request you that you can take the notes, but after the class I will be sharing the slides that we cover today in the Telegram group. For now, I request all of you to just listen to the things that I am saying carefully, understand the various concepts that we discussed today, because these concepts are very important, and as per my experience, I have seen that many students find it a little difficult as compared to other ones. Now, what are gravity filters? So gravity filters are those in which head required by the water to flow through the filter medium is provided by the height of the water itself above filter, whereas in case of pressure filters, these are provided artificially by the application of external pressure. Now let me give you a general idea that how a filter works, or what is the basic layout of a filter. Let us consider a tank, okay, in which we are filling in raw water. Now what do you understand firstly by filtration? अगर मैं हिंदी में आपसे बोलूं कोई चीज को अपन फिल्टर कर रहे हैं तो उससे अपन क्या समझते हैं कि इसको छानना या छलनी का यूज करना, यूजिंग अ फिल्टर. So here also we are using one type of filter only. Now the construction of these filters and working is a little different. but the basic principles remains the same. So now in the upcoming slides, we'll be discussing about the basic functioning and characteristics of these filters, and then we'll study them one by one. Okay, so here I am drawing a brief layout on how these filters work. So see, most of the filters are designed in such a way that when the water is filled from the top, it gradually passes through a layer of different sized particles that are solid particles. Maybe at the bottommost there are rocks of a little larger size. Okay, then it is covered by a layer of particles of a little different size. Okay, and above it even further fine particles are used. So when the water flows through this system and finally gets filtered out, so in the process many of the particles they get stalled, you can say stopped by the filter, you can say they are retained by the filter. Okay, there are various mechanisms by that they are retained, but this is a basic construction. Now what this first point says that gravity filters are those in which head require the water to flow through the filter medium. Okay, now which head we are talking about? We are talking about the head that will be required to flow through this filter. See, this filter as uh, as a solid body, it will try to hinder the flow of water. या फिर मैं कह सकता हूं जब आप पानी पास कराने की कोशिश करेंगे तो ये रेजिस्टिव फोर्स क्रिएट करेगा उस पानी के ऊपर जिससे उसकी एनर्जी खत्म हो जाए. ठीक है, बट अपने को आगे कंटिन्यूस फ्लो कराने के लिए और इसमें भी फ्लो आपको अच्छे से मेंटेन करने के लिए आपको इसमें कंटिन्यूस प्रेशर प्रोवाइड करना पड़ेगा. तो इन ग्रेविटेशनल फिल्टर्स व्हाट हैपेंस, वी प्रोवाइड दिस प्रेशर बाय maintaining a certain amount of head. What do we understand by head? In fluid mechanics we have learned that we used to use piezometers which used to measure the pressure that is maintained here. So if we talk about the pressure maintained here, it will be at this level H. So this head we are talking about, that the amount of head to maintain the energy for the water to flow through the filter medium. Okay, now in the case of gravitational filter, it is provided by the water that is filled above, and in case of pressure filter, it is this tank is not open. First of all, these tanks are closed, and secondly, with the help of mechanical power, we apply some external pressure. External pressure is applied from on the water surface so that it flows through the medium easily and in a little faster speed. Moving on ahead, let us discuss the various processes that help in filtration of raw water. Okay, now first one is mechanical straining. So what do we understand by it? See, what's written here, that when water passes through the filter medium, particles of size greater than the size of voids of filter medium are strained out from and results in formation of entrapped impurities over the surface of medium particles. Particles of size smaller than size of voids of filter medium are also retained over the layer of entrapped impurities, as the size of the void in this layer entrapped impurity is smaller than the size of voids of filter medium. So what here we are trying to say, again let me draw a example of a filter medium. Let us say that the filter medium consists of some gravels. Okay, now what does mechanical staining means? How will it filter out? Mechanical staining means that what is written in the first point, that as the water passes through the as the water passes through, the particles of size that are greater than size of voids, that means the particles which are greater than the size of the voids. You can understand this is the void area, and the particles which are greater will stick here. They, they will result in formation of a small layer, and the particles which are smaller in size, they will percolate through these voids. Okay, but the particles which are greater than size will make a thin layer here. Now as the thickness of this thin layer will increase, it will retain even the further finer particles that are there. So that is written in the second point, that particles of size smaller than the size of voids of filter medium are also retained over the layer of these entrapped impurities. So this is one of the ways that uh, filtration works. Okay, one of the phenomena that is happening in the filters. Moving on, next we have sedimentation. This we have learned earlier also. What is written here, that due to removal of turbulence from water over the medium surface, the suspended solids get settled over the surface of medium particles, which result in removal of particles from the filtered water. It is quite simple. Let me go back. This is our filter medium. As the water is percolating or flowing through it, the water will lose its energy. As it is flowing through this tank, it will turn into laminar, and once turbulence is gone, then the particles will settle down as per the concepts that we have learned earlier. Then the third important phenomena is regarding biological change. So let us understand through this example of a filter medium that is given here. See, what do I mean by biological changes? अभी अभी तक अपन ने समझा कि ये जो फिल्टर मीडियम है, तो इसके ये मैकेनिकल प्रॉपर्टीज, मतलब कि इसकी मटेरियल प्रॉपर्टीज, जैसे कि ये पार्टिकल्स जो इससे छोटे हैं वो इसके वॉइड्स के ऊपर, जो वॉइड से बड़े हैं एक्चुअली, जो वॉइड से बड़े हैं वो वहां पे आपके रुक जा रहे हैं, और जो वॉइड से छोटे हैं वो उसके ऊपर रुक जा रहे हैं। तो जो इम्प्योरिटीज है एक लेयर बना ले रही है, ठीक है। ये वन ऑफ द चेंजेस था। सेकंड था कि आपने टर्बुलेंस पानी का खत्म कर दिया, फिर सेडिमेंटेशन हो गया उन पार्टिकल्स का। दूसरा प्रोसेस हो गया ये इसी फिल्ट्रेशन प्लांट में। थर्ड प्रोसेस क्या हुआ, बायोलॉजिकल चेंजेस। इसमें अपने को क्या इंपॉर्टेंट है, सी फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल व्हाट डू वी अंडरस्टैंड बाय बायोलॉजिकल, एंड देन we'll see about change. Any action of material which consists of living organisms, or okay, so in our case let us try to understand what is happening. So let us say this is your inlet through which you are filling up the water. This is your water level. So once you start filling the water, what happens, it also carries some organic matter which might be partially decomposed. Okay, so I'm writing here that partially decomposed organic matter might come in. It will coat the upper layer, okay, and along with it not only just partially decomposed organic matter, but there will be some or other amount of presence of nutrients as well, nutrients for algae. Okay, the combination of it will promote the growth of algae, and due to the process that algae is formed, it will liberate oxygen in the process of decomposition, in the process of photosynthesis. Let me explain it again. See what I am trying to say. This is our filter medium. We are trying to understand what are biological changes possible. So what do we understand by first of all this term? That any type of process which includes living organisms or the organic matter which is processing there. Okay, so in our case, let us consider this as a filter medium and this is your inlet. So what we see that in the filtration process, we see that along with the raw water that is coming from the previous process, we also see that on the top of the layer of this filter medium, such some impurities they get stuck around, which are organic in nature, which we observe to be partially decomposed. Okay, so we write that partially decomposed organic matter gets stick on the top surface of this filter medium. Partially decomposed organic matter. Next, what happens that along with this partially decomposed organic matter comes nutrients. Nutrients may be in the form of carbon, phosphates, nitrogen or sulfur. Now what happens? These nutrients, they promote the growth of algae in this layer. They promote the growth of algae in this layer. Okay, now as algae grows here on this layer, a thin layer becomes on the upper surface of the filter medium. Now since this is an open tank, sunlight will also be there. Okay, this is your sunlight. So due to the presence of sunlight and this partially decomposed organic matter and because of these nutrients, algae is also growing. So we see that the process of photosynthesis starts here. In the process of photosynthesis, this algae produces oxygen. Now this oxygen, it is used by the microorganisms. It is used by the microorganisms to decompose these organic matters further. Okay, these microorganisms, they process these organic matter and they decompose them again, making a thin layer. Now the layer that is formed here, we term it as Schmutz-Steg. Okay, Schmutz-Steg is this is a layer in which this process continues, where continuously water is coming, partially decomposed organic matter is coming from the inlet. Nutrients are also there, which promotes the growth of algae. The algae in its life cycle processes these nutrients, perform photosynthesis, generates oxygen. This oxygen is further utilized by the microorganisms, which in turn decompose these partially decomposed organic matter. Okay, now as this layer gets thickened, as this ये layer जैसे जैसे बड़ी होती जाती है, तो अपने को क्या देखने को मिलता है कि these particles which are at the lower most part, if I increase the size, the particles that are present in the lower most part, they start to die. The algae and the microorganisms that are present in the lower most section, अपन देखते हैं कि इनकी डेथ होने लगती है. क्यों होने लगती है? क्योंकि इन तक न्यूट्रिएंट्स पहुंच नहीं पा रहे, एल्गी तक ऑक्सीजन जनरेट नहीं कर पा रहे, फोटोसिंथेसिस हो नहीं पा रहा क्योंकि सनलाइट नहीं आ रही सबसे नीचे वाली लेयर में. In turn, microorganisms are not able to utilize this oxygen. They die since neither their food is available nor oxygen to live is available. So what happens? A layer of dead cells accumulate on the top surface. एक layer सारे ही dead cells के लिए कारण accumulate हो जाती है, इकट्ठी हो जाती है इस पे. तो इसमें आगे क्या होता है? आपने water तो you have filled the water in this tank, so it is creating some pressure due to its gravitational energy. Okay, the head that we have created, so that is also pressurizing. Secondly, these matter, algae and microorganisms which are present in the bottommost layer, they go through a process known as endogenous respiration. In the process of endogenous respirations, these dead cells of algae and microorganisms, they disintegrate, and once they disintegrate, they percolate and stick around the filter media. Okay, are you able to understand what I am trying to explain in this phenomena? As these dead cells finally percolate due to the process of endogenous respiration, these are also removed and they stick around in the this filter medium. Okay, now अपन कितनी देर तक इस चीज को अलाउ करेंगे, ये कितना देर तक ये प्रोसेस चलेगा, इट ऑल डिपेंड्स अपॉन द डिटेंशन टाइम ऑफ द this process of any of the gravitational filter. So if the detention time is more, then a lot of particles will be accumulated in this filter medium and eventually this filter media will get choked. So time and again we use various types of cleaning processes for this filter medium. Okay, once a cycle is started, inlet water is allowed to fill in. This process happens, mechanical straining happens, because of it also voids get clogged, then your sedimentation is also occurring, then biological changes also add up to the blockage in the filter medium, and eventually the blockage exceeds the available energy through the head of the water, and because of it the tank chokes, and once it is choked, then we are not able to find any of the water in the effluent. So what we do, we perform cleaning process. Okay, in that cleaning process, depending upon the type of the filter, whether it is slow sand filter or rapid sand filter, we use different type of cleaning that we'll learn in the topics that come in the upcoming lecture or in this lecture only. So let us read what we have studied right now. So for the first few days, when this water passes through the filter medium, the upper layer gets coated with sticky deposits of partially decomposed organic matter. So we need to pass water for initial few days, and then this sticky deposits of partially decomposed organic matter along with the nutrients that are carbon, nitrogen, maybe phosphorus, sulfur, or iron, manganese, aluminium. What they do, they promote the growth of algae that carries out photosynthesis, during which O2 is liberated. Okay, which is further utilized by the microorganisms to carry out the decomposition of organic matter. I hope this concept is clear. Then what we see, that a thin layer in which entire this biological activity takes place, we term it as Schmutz deck. Okay, Schmutz deck of organic matter by microorganisms. Okay, then what happens? Endogenous respiration starts, which also reduces the load over the filter or the microbial load over the filter. Now during this endogenous respiration only, these dead cells, they start coming down into the layers that are below, and they get filtered there, they stick there. Okay, which eventually, as the detention time comes to end, that it chokes the filter medium. Now it is written here, next point, that extent of removal of organic matter and microorganisms in organic matter in filter is dependent upon time provided for the growth of Schmutz deck. If we have a good layer of Schmutz deck, then the organic matter will be removed accordingly. Now let us see what are some of the electrolytic changes that might be observed. What do we understand by electrolytic changes? Any change with respect to the charges that might be present on that particular water discharge. Okay. Now in this topic, that impurities that are present in water and medium particles, they carry opposite charges, the impurities and the medium particles. Hence, because of their interaction, neutralization of these impurities takes place that are further removed from filter medium during its cleaning process. Okay, so I hope you have understood the various processes that we will be learning further also and applying. So a quick revision: what was the first process that was occurring in any of the gravity or pressure filters? It was the process of mechanical straining. Mechanical straining. Okay, what happened in this? Quickly revise, जल्दी से रिवाइज कर लो क्योंकि इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक्स हैं, इन्हें समझना जरूरी है. मैकेनिकल स्ट्रेनिंग में क्या हो रहा था? आपके जो भी पार्टिकल्स हैं, आपके जो भी पार्टिकल्स हैं जो कि वॉइड की साइज से बड़े हैं, वॉइड किसके? फिल्टर मीडियम के. फिल्टर मीडियम की वॉइड के साइज से बड़े हैं तो वो सारे वहां पे फिल्टर आउट हो जा रहे हैं. ये मैकेनिकल स्ट्रेनिंग हुई. सेकेंड हुई सेडिमेंटेशन. सो सेडिमेंटेशन में क्या हो रहा है? जो टर्बुलेंस था वाटर में, ड्यू टू फ्लो थ्रू दिस फिल्टर मीडिया विच रिड्यूसेस द वेलोसिटी ऑफ द फ्लो, सो द वाटर is no longer turbulent and hence particles, they also get settled down due to the process of sedimentation. Third process or phenomena that is occurring in the filtration system is regarding the biological changes that are occurring there. In biological changes, what did we study? That there is a growth of a layer known as Shepard's deck in which the partially decomposed organic matter is getting completely decomposed by the microorganisms. How do these microorganisms gain energy and survive? How do they survive? They survive due to the oxygen that is liberated by the photosynthesis process from the algae. How did this algae occur, or how this algae is formed in this filter medium? So algae is formed because of the nutrients that are available in the raw water that promote its growth. What type of nutrients? Nutrients such as iron, manganese, potassium, phosphorus, sulfur, then aluminium, carbon, nitrogen, etc. So these are some of the nutrients that help the growth of algae, which in turn promotes the overall process. Okay. Now in that biological changes, there was also a last effect, that was endogenous respiration, in which the lowest layer, that was consisting of the dead cells of the organic matter of the algae and the microorganisms, that was getting getting the inside or getting percolated even further in the filter medium as the water flowed, and eventually that when the filter medium got choked, so the process of flow or filtration stopped, and then we have to clean the system. Another phenomena that occurs in the filtration process is this electrolytic changes. Okay, in this we have learned that particles of medium, filter medium, and the impurities that are present in water, they carry opposite charges. Hence, when they interact in this filtration plant, their neutralization of impurities takes place, and which are further removed from the filter medium during its cleaning process. So as you can see, with the help of this filtration, almost all the suspended solids which we were not able to remove in the previous processes are completely removed by these four phenomena. So if anyone asks you to explain these phenomena, so I hope you are now in a condition in which you will be able to explain all the concepts in a very clear, crystal clear form, I believe. Now let us move on to the next important topic, that is the first type of gravitational filter that we need to study. So this is a typical diagram of the slow sand filter. How does it work? So as you can see, let us first have a look about the construction. So at the lowermost part, we have a support gravel. What does it basically means? That there are gravels of large dia, okay, and above it is filter bed, which consists of finer particles of different types of soil that we have put here. And as we allow the flow of raw water from the inlet, the water fills here, okay, and as the water starts flowing through this filter bed, there is a growth of the layer known as Shimut-Stek. I have explained it already. As the growth starts taking place, and once we have developed a sufficient amount of this layer of Shimut-Stek, then we start the flow to the next process towards treated water. Okay, this next process goes to the process known as disinfection, in which disinfection is carried out by use of different types of chemicals for any types of microorganisms, or any type of disease causing agents are left out. So this is the process of filtration. There is a overflow pipe given here in case the filter bed, this filtration head required overflows through it. Then there is a backfilling process given here. Okay, this is your control valve that you will allow only when there is a significant growth in Shimut-Stek, and you will close when the filter is choked, and you may proceed for the cleaning purpose. Now in your notebook, just for a better understanding, I am again drawing this diagram. This diagram is of slow sand filter. So with this we will be learning about various types of particle sizes, and what is the engineering properties of this filter medium. So this is your tank. Don't draw it right now. Draw it once I have completed this drawing, because you might need to get it erased and corrected, and which will be not be possible for you. So let me draw it first, then I will explain it to you. Okay, so this is your inlet through which influent is coming. Now in the slow sand filter, we avoid the process of coagulation aided flocculation. Why? Coagulation aided sedimentation. Why do we avoid it? Because the particles that are present in this filter medium of slow sand filter are itself very fine, and they will filter out these all fine suspended solids which have not been removed in the sedimentation process. So we directly go through the plain sedimentation process, and we use the water that we have gained there, that have been processed in the plain sedimentation tank, and we pour into it. Okay, now this is your inlet chamber, okay, in which the water from the inlet gets filled up. Now at the base of the filter are some drainage systems. These drainage systems helps in the flow of the cleaned water. So these are your lateral drains. These are your lateral drains. Okay, these through these only the water is collected from the entire area of this filtration plant, and then it is collected into this central portion in which the water flows. So this is your central drain. Okay, and above this lateral drain exists the layer of gravel. And above this gravel layer is the filter medium consisting of finer materials. Okay. I believe now you can draw it along with me. It will save your time. Pause this video if you haven't drawn yet and resume it. Okay, so this is the construction of the filter medium. It consists of sand at the top and gravel at the bottom. Once, okay, now the thickness of this gravel layer is around 60 to 90 centimeters. Okay, and the thickness of this sand layer is around 90 to 100 centimeters. Okay, this is your sand and this is your gravel. Now as the water fills in it, it will enter into this filter medium, okay, and it will develop a head, and as the water starts flowing, it will also develop a thin layer of Schmutzdecke over this filter medium. Okay, now in this right hand side tank, what happens, the water that has been filtered from this is collected through the lateral drains and which eventually flows to the central drain. This is collected in this outlet chamber. Okay, it is collected in the outlet chamber, and when it reaches a certain height, it starts exiting out from the outlets, and this water is taken to the process of disinfection. Okay, now these are some important things that you should know, that what is the thickness that is considered for the filter medium, and in that too, what is for sand is for around 90 to 100 centimeters, and for gravel it is 60 to 90 centimeters. This is a basic construction. This is how your water is filtered. Another important thing here is you can note that there is a considerable difference in the head. As you can see here, this much amount of head is lost as head loss in the process of this filtration. I hope now you can visualize also what I was trying to convey you initially, that as the water flows through the filter medium will try to oppose its flow, as it is just behaving like obstruction. So due to these obstructions and restrictions in flow of water, we observe this loss in energy, which is shown as head loss. Okay, so these arrangements are done so that water is easily collected and cleaning process can be carried out. Now moving on ahead, let us discuss some points with regards to slow sand filter. So this filter, it utilizes the influent from the plain sedimentation process. Okay, I have written here only because we don't use the coagulation aided sedimentation, because it will eventually choke a little more of this filter bed. As it is also written here that in case of coagulation aided sedimentation, filter medium gets frequently choked, which require its frequent cleaning, that increases its operational cost. Now gravel layer is provided only to support the sand medium. It doesn't act as a filter medium. The layer which you can see here, this gravel layer, it is just acting as a support for the sand that is placed above. The most important types of filter medium that are used are sand, anthracite, activated carbons, geotextile or garnet, or a combination of these is used as filter medium. Now the size of each slow sand filter unit varies from 100 to 2000 meter square. Okay, the depth of the gravel layer is around 60 to 90 centimeters. The total depth of the filter medium is around 2.5 to 3.5 meters. In the diagram I have shown about the sand medium. This is about the total depth of the filter medium. So depth of sand medium is around 90 to 110 centimeters. Then some important points includes that the depth of water above the sand medium is taken as same as that of the depth of the sand medium. So what it means that around this height will be the same as that of the sand medium. So this will be also around 90 to 100 centimeters. Next point is given is that top 15 to 30 centimeters of the sand used is of fine variety, then the remaining which may be of uniform size. Okay, this is about the top layer. The effective size of sand, that is the D10 value which gives us effective size is 0.2 to 0.3 mm. Then coefficient of uniformity of sand is given as 3 to 5. We all know, we have studied it in geotechnical engineering. If you haven't studied it, very soon geotechnical engineering course is also coming up. One of my good friends and my colleagues will be starting it. Okay, so don't worry about it, it will come eventually. Now some of the students might have started developing a doubt that अरे सर इतनी सारी वैल्यूज क्या ये याद करनी है क्या सर whether we need to memorize these values. See, you directly don't need to memorize, but you need to get a brief idea that what is the near about measurement for this filter medium, then what are different types of effective sizes used, which layer is finer, which layer may contain uniform size particles, why it is required. See, in the subjective papers, may it be state PSC exams or engineering services exams, they don't give much of the data, and many of the times it is written that assume the data as or if necessary. So if the question comes for this type of problem, you might be in a condition where you need to assume certain data. So when you are well aware about these types of questions and you practice and apply these values in the questions that have come previously, you will be able to solve them. Okay, you will be able to take values. So moving on ahead, the head loss through the freshly clean water, the head loss I have drawn here. Let me quickly give you a recap. This is the head loss we are talking about. So this head loss through freshly clean water is in the range of 10 to 15 centimeters, which goes on increasing as more and more impurities are entrapped in the filter. See, as the filter medium gets more and more choked, the flow of water will be easier or difficult. The flow of water through that filter medium will be much more difficult. Hence, it is observed that as more and more impurities are entrapped, the head loss keeps on increasing. Hence, in order to obtain a constant discharge, the height of this telescopic tube is adjusted in accordance with the head loss. Which telescopic tube are we talking about? This telescopic tube. Why are we providing it? We can take the water directly from the central drain. See, once again we are giving the water a chance that in case there are any of the particles which is very difficult, if there are any suspended solids left, or if due to heavy flow or any turbulence, if any particle flows or percolates through this, it might not be able to enter through this telescopic tube. So we adjust the height according to the head loss. Now, next is regarding to cleaning. So the cleaning of the filter should be done when the head loss becomes 0.7 to 0.8 times of the depth of the filter medium. So I have given you the value that the filter medium depth varies from 2.5 to 3 meters. So if the head loss becomes 0.7 to 0.8 times, that means around 0.7 to 0.8, how much it turns out to be? Around 70 to 80% of the filter medium depth. When this becomes a head loss, then we proceed for the cleaning process. Now how the cleaning process is done? So for cleaning the filter, the top 1.5 to 3 centimeters of sand layer is removed and the remaining surface is scraped with the help of racks. It loosens up the entrapped impurities that are further removed by washing the filter medium through clarified water. Now, when we remove this top layer of 1.5 to 3 centimeters, we also remove the Schmutzdecke layer. Okay, because that is on the top of the filter medium. Then next what happens, that filter is again loaded with settled water, but filtered water we don't use it for next 24 to 36 hours. This time is given to the provided for the growth of Schmutzdecke that was removed during the cleaning process. Okay, the one that was removed here, now it is again given a sufficient time for its growth. Now what is the frequency of cleaning in the slow sand filters? It is around 1 to 3 months. सो इन द टाइम पीरियड 1 से 3 महीने के बीच में आपको स्लो सैंड फिल्टर को क्लीन कर लेना है. नेक्स्ट इसमें रेट ऑफ फिल्ट्रेशन कितना ऑब्जर्व करने को मिलता है. सो रेट ऑफ फिल्ट्रेशन इज ऑब्जर्व्ड एज 2400 to 4800 liters per meter square per day. We can calculate the surface area by using the design discharge value that is given to us divided by the rate of filtration. Okay, now where are these filters mostly used? So these filters are mostly used in the villages or the places where water demand is less and the available area is more. See, if this is the quantity of water that is coming out of by the process of slow sand filtration, then we need to provide a larger area. So that is why it is said that for this will be used in villages or where the water demand is less and the available area is more. Okay, next some more points are given. Let's have a look. The bacterial removal efficiency of this filter is in the range of 98 to 99%. It is a very high removal efficiency, high efficiency considering different types of filter, so mind it. Then it is given that this filter is not used for treatment of water having turbidity greater than 50 NTU. Again, if we use the water that is having such a high amount of turbidity, then what will happen? It will choke the filter medium frequently and we have to clean it again and again. Then effluent from this filter is sufficiently clarified, that is, it is free from nutrients such as carbon, nitrogen, phosphorus and sulfur. Hence, it reduces the possibility of the aftergrowth of organisms in the distribution system. Then the number of filters to be provided in this case depends upon the area of the filter. What does it mean? That I have drawn a table in which depending upon the area of filter required, how we will be calculating it? We will be calculating it using the designed discharge that is given to us and the rate of filtration we have designed, or the filter we have designed for this rate of filtration. So if the area required is less than 20 meter square, then we will be requiring two filters. Why two filters? See, one filter is for working, for operation, and second one is required for standby. Okay, in each example I have, that's why I have bifurcated as operational, standby, operational, standby, operational and standby. So this is a table, just have a brief idea about it. Okay, you don't need to memorize it. So that's all about the slow sand filter and various concepts that we have learned about the filtration, various phenomena that are occurring in the filtration process. So today we have learned about the slow sand filter concept. In the next lecture, we'll learn about the concept of rapid sand filters. Okay. Once these major type of filters we have covered, then we will be moving on to the numericals that are frequently asked both in engineering services and as well as in the GATE exam. And afterwards we will be moving forward to the next concepts, and we will eventually cover this course of water supply engineering. So that's all for today's lecture. If you have any doubts, then please post it in the comments or in the Telegram group. So just for a quick recap, we learned about the various phenomena that are occurring in the filtration process: mechanical straining, sedimentation process, biological changes and electrolytic changes. Then we learned about the slow sand filter. We learned about various parameters that are involved with it. Okay, so that's all for today's session. We'll meet in the next one, that is tomorrow. So till then, have a good day. Stay safe. Jai Hind.